was in the past. Never healing, yeah, you so detached. Couldn't face me, yeah, you met your match. You were never really proud at all. That's why you had to always see us fall.
Welcome back to my channel, where we discuss popular mainstream music. And in this video, we're going to be talking about SZA, okay? And why SZA is the new queen of R&B, okay? New queen of R&B. SZA has made so many waves throughout this decade for R&B. She has transformed the genre, pushed it out there, and has done things that I haven't seen anyone done. With the exception of like Summer Walker too, but SZA really has, you know, the throne, okay? And before we get into that, because I always went through this video, before we get into that, if you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that is my single. Check it out, guys. It's here on YouTube. All you gotta do is type my name and it will definitely show up and pop up, and you can listen to my music on all music streaming platforms. So definitely take a listen. I'd really appreciate it. So getting back into SZA, okay, the new queen of R&B. Yes, SZA is the new queen of R&B. And there hasn't been a year that solidified it more in an era, a year, in an album as SOS, okay? SOS was like the stamp on everything. CTRL started it. But the main reason why I believe SZA is the new queen of R&B, aside from her stats, is that one, she does two things. Okay, the first thing is SZA continues to challenge, innovate, and transform R&B. Okay, that's one of the things. Like, she is not your classic R&B sound, even though she has a lot of classic R&B runs and riffs and stuff like that. Her music is still R&B, definitely, but she has innovated and pushed it in such a way that has made it modern and great for this new era. So that's the one thing, is her ability to innovate R&B and to push it and challenge it to make it, you know, very palatable for everyone outside of R&B fans to digest, okay? And the second thing that she does, okay, really well is she incorporates a lot of other genres and elements from pop, okay, from hip hop, very popular genres, and she includes it and intertwines it with the R&B music that she's making. Okay, so it can kind of be like a pop R&B, a kind of indie alternative R&B sound, kind of a hip hop R&B sound. The way that she mixes and incorporates other genres into the R&B sound is another reason why she is the new queen of R&B, because she has made it digestible in a crossover sound for everyone to listen to. Okay, R&B was going through a struggle in the late 2000s, 2010s. It was going through a struggle because it wasn't being promoted that much. Like, it's just a lot of R&B artists were not being pushed out there like that, the way it was in the 90s where it was big. And people were moving on to, like, you know, hip hop and pop as a sound. So the R&B sound not being pushed, not being heard, it kind of left R&B mainly to us black folks to support it. You know, R&B was huge in the 90s, everywhere, and even in the early 2000s, but as we gone through the 2000s, you saw how it just left the mainstream. The promotion, the artists were just not out there. Okay, it was going more to hip hop and pop. So R&B lost a lot of its fire, a lot of its funk, during the 2000s, and really just wasn't a genre really out there in the charts anymore. Until SZA, until SZA comes in, and this is why I say SZA has done so much for R&B, because not only is she an R&B artist, but she expands it and has made it something listenable to anybody. Okay, people outside of black culture.
Like that, so you know I'm like that. I could be your supermodel if you believe. You see it in me, you see it in me, you see it in me. I don't see myself, why I can't stay long just by myself. Wish I was comfortable just with myself, but I need you, I need you, I need you. And you just get a load of them, they got chemistry. All they could say we're like brother and sister, look so good together. But
she's like crossed over the genre, you know, out into like for everyone. And this is what makes her so successful, and this is why she really is the new queen of R&B, because it takes a person who is able to take this genre that is no longer popular in mainstream, not with black culture, but with mainstream culture in general. It takes a person with these skills that will not only sing the genre and promote the genre, but be able to make it relatable to people outside of the black race. It takes a person like SZA. It takes those skills, and that's why she's the new queen of R&B, because it would not have this presence if it wasn't for her skill sets and her gifts. Okay.
Knowing I'm selfish, knowing I'm desperate, I get it on little love, falling all over love. I do it till it's less, baby. Hanging out the back, all up in your lap. Said you coming home, is you where we hurt? I don't care long as you here by 10:30, no later than drop them jaws. Give me what I want. My man is your man, her is her man too.
And we're gonna take a look at it deeper, starting with CTRL, Control, which was her first album. You know, she had a bunch of singles and EPs before, but Control, CTRL, was her first album, okay? And just looking at CTRL, okay, everything from the Drew Barrymore song, which was the first single, which everyone knows Drew Barrymore. She's a famous actress. It's a great title. Just the title in general is a way to cross over that song. But on top of it being called Drew Barrymore, if you listen to the song, yes, it's an R&B song, but it has a lot of alternative, you know, kind of like ballad like influence in it. You know, it's not your typical R&B song. You can hear the how she incorporates other sounds and genres that are very quirky, almost make it sound alternative. Okay, this is why a lot of people call, you know, SZA an alternative R&B, because of the different sounds she incorporates. So you hear a song like Drew Barrymore, that can cross over, okay, to the main pop stream channels and radios and sounds and audience, because it has a pop influence into it.
The night goes off at episode 1. Bring the gin, got the juice. Bring the sin, got that too. Won't you shut up? No, you're my favorite and my warming up for ya. Outside, baby, yeah. Warming up for ya inside me. Warming up for ya outside, baby, yeah. Is it warming up outside inside me? I get so lonely.
Different alternative sounds that are incorporated in it that makes it sound like a sad girl pop song, so versus like a full-blown R&B song. But why this is so important, because again, it's how she is marketing her music, how it's being put out there. Here we're getting R&B songs with these alternative pop sounds incorporated within it, which makes it digestible for everyone, and then it's called Drew Barrymore, a very famous actress on top of that. You know, that's like a perfect marketing equation to success. And then she starts out with Drew Barrymore, so that goes well. Then her second single, Love Galore, it's Love Galore, which is definitely an R&B sound, definitely more true to R&B. But again, she has Travis Scott. She's adding a little hip hop to it, a little funk. It's a really nice melody. And again, like, you got the first single, Drew Barrymore, that's grabbing people's attention. Now you got Love Galore, you know, and she's kind of like slowly easing into like that R&B, that traditional R&B sound. Okay, because Drew Barrymore is more pop, Love Galore is more R&B, but still pop. And then finally her third single, The Weeknd, which is a full-blown R&B song. as a real R&B song. And again, the marketing is perfect in my opinion. You start off with a really pop song, then you get more R&B with Love Galore, and then you get full-blown R&B, which is The Weeknd. The Weeknd to me sounds like a traditional R&B song. And this type of sound, you guys have to remember, this is 2017. This sound on like a mainstream level, at least in my opinion, I remember when I heard The Weeknd, I was thinking, damn, I have not heard like a real R&B song like this in a minute. Everything was pop, hip hop, pop, hip hop, pop, hip hop, pop, hip hop, pop, hip hop. So to hear a song like The Weeknd be like in the charts, on the radio, everywhere, mainstream, everyone's listening to it, and it's got a very traditional R&B track sound. I was like, yes, this is how you do it. This is how you get R&B back into the mainstream. And I'm not even saying that they intentionally did this, like SZA intentionally did this. I'm just saying it's just working so spiritually and intentionally. 2017 was not the climate for real R&B songs, you know, at all. Like, people were just trying to get it back. And I can give other people credit too. Like, I think Bryson Tiller, I think helped with that R&B wave too, you know. But again, with SZA, like The Weeknd, this is big, everyone's listening to it. This is what I'm talking about. And this is what I'm talking about, kind of grooming the world back into listening to an R&B song like it's nothing. SZA is the artist that can do this, okay? And then, you know, she had her other singles like Guarded and Broken Clocks. Again, very R&B, but like more alternative with like different like influences in the sound. Very quirky, but still soulful. This is what's amazing about SZA. It's just that quirkiness that she has, but that soulfulness. She has like a good balance of the two. And I feel like this fusion with that R&B and that rhythm that she naturally has, but mixing it with that quirkiness and the alternative sounds that she pulls from. This is why her music, Control, the album, was so successful, such a successful R&B album. Some rock, she'll incorporate some pop, she'll incorporate some electro. Like, she is so creative with that, and all into R&B, especially as a female R&B artist. You know, we were really missing a lot on female R&B artists, okay? And I feel like SZA's success opened doors for Summer Walker's success. Not saying like Summer needed SZA to be successful, but just us listening to Control and adapting more into that R&B sound and becoming more mainstream, it made it easier for other R&B acts like Summer Walker, you know, to put in even more, because Summer Walker to me is even more R&B.
I was feeling rich, but catching you in different lights. You was denied, cold facing, but I found a way to make it back. But as much as I refuse, my heart is still asking, do ya? When you say my name, 'cause it's always constant. Oh, shit, when you don't do what you say, tell me, do ya? Mean it when you say my name, 'cause it's always constant.
So again, like, SZA is this pioneer. I don't care what anybody says. The way I see it, SZA is this pioneer for the R&B sound coming back into popularity. And you see this so much with her album CTR Control. Okay, and this album got her a lot of accolades. She was nominated so many times for the Grammys. Fortunately, she didn't win, but she does with SOS. But CTR was really big. It was also on the Billboard 200 for I think like 531 weeks. I'm not sure. But it was the second longest R&B album after Auntie. Now, if you personally ask me, I think Control should be the longest, because to me, Auntie isn't an R&B album. In my personal opinion, I don't think Auntie is R&B. I think Auntie is pop. That's just my opinion. But you know, there's politics, you know, so if you're black and you're singing, people just automatically think you're R&B. But anyway, longest album, on Billboard for a reason. So CTR was incredibly successful. And then moving on to SOS, where I felt like SZA really just put a stamp on it with SOS, because SOS was so successful, really successful. It was rivaling with Beyonce's Renaissance and Taylor Swift's Midnights. Okay, her numbers were up there. I think SOS, Midnights, and Renaissance were the biggest albums for 2023. And I know SOS came out 2022, like late 2022, but basically it rolled around. SOS actually surpassed Renaissance in streams, okay, in the Spotify streams. So, I mean, Beyonce, a R&B queen. I mean, there's no better way of saying you're the new R&B queen by beating Beyonce's numbers, okay? And that's not to say like SZA's better than Beyonce, or it's not immature like that. But what I'm saying is it speaks volumes, especially when I'm making this point that SZA's a new R&B queen. I mean, it doesn't get any more blatant by beating the former R&B queen in numbers, okay? SOS is one of the highest streaming albums for 2023, and it beat out Beyonce's Renaissance, okay, in streams, which Renaissance is huge. So if SOS is being that is a big deal. I mean, that is props to SZA, and again, that's letting you know that she is this new sound, this new wave for R&B. And just like with CTRL, SOS again incorporates a lot of different sounds and genres, everything from rock, pop, indie. She incorporates all of these sounds, okay? And this is again why she is able to be so popular and be able to market her R&B music to everywhere, okay? Because she's able to transform it, and that's what's so innovative, about SZA. It's her ability to market R&B in such a relatable way by incorporating other genres. So SZA really killed it with SOS. SOS also won so many Grammys for her. It won Best R&B Progressive Album, which is amazing. Again, what I'm saying, very progressive. The person who's able to trailblaze is the person who gets the crown, okay? Going 3 times platinum. She just was so successful with SOS, and then her tours that she put out, and if you didn't peep, SZA's actually a really good performer. Like, she can move, she really has great stage presence. Like, I was peeping her tours, I'm like, wait, this girl isn't just like a songstress, she can really move out there, give a show. So SZA's like the perfect artist for R&B, and again, it's for these 2 reasons. And again, the first being her ability to innovate R&B and make it new, okay? Because we need something new. These younger generations haven't been listening maybe to R&B, okay? So you need something new that could be digestible for the newer generation, okay? So she pushes R&B, she challenges it by incorporating different sounds and involving and transforming the sounds. So she is a trailblazer for R&B, for its new direction, and that's gonna give you the crown, honey. That's how you get the crown, by being a trailblazer. And then on top of that, she is the way I look at it is SZA is well-rounded in music. She's clearly a girl who probably listened to lots of different genres. And then she takes all that influences from different genres, and then she incorporates in R&B. And that's what, again, makes it so palatable, so digestible for so many people. And that's why she's this huge superstar. She's basically like a freaking pop star, and using R&B. And I don't know, I'm just so thankful for SZA, because I really feel like she's responsible for putting R&B back into mainstream. At least for her, and at least for other artists coming up behind her. And she's the trailblazer for the newer sound, the newer generation, the new direction of R&B. And yeah, I think she's opened doors for the girls like Summer, for the girls like Coco, and I feel like, I don't know, I'm just so happy. I feel like it really took a girl who is not just well versed in R&B, but just in music in general. And I think we need to give her credit, not just for being successful and giving great music, but for also putting R&B back into mainstream. SZA to me is the new queen of R&B, and I'm not only excited for her, but for all the other R&B artists, again, like Coco Jones, like Victoria Monet, okay, like Summer Walker, Summer Walker's been making big moves already. She's successful in her own right, but I just want to see more R&B into mainstream. And I'm just so thankful for SZA because I feel like she is so heavily responsible for it. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about SZA, okay, and her album SOS and Control? Do you think she is responsible for making mainstream R&B a more of a mainstream genre again, and putting more attention to it? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Okay, I love SZA, and if you guys don't know, fun fact, SZA is from my hometown. We are all from Maplewood. Props to her. I love people from my hometown, and let me know what you guys think about SZA in the comment section below, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.